Now, it is my pleasure to invite this year's Alumni Spotlight Award winner, Laura Spiekerman, to say a few words. Laura was once in your exact shoes, graduating from EB with the class of 2000. She's the founder and chief revenue officer of her own financial services tech company, Alloy. Through hard work and perseverance, Laura's entrepreneurial spirit has propelled her career, where she continues to exhibit EB's core values of integrity, zeal, and endeavor. Congratulations, Laura.
For having me, and thank you everyone for this incredibly fancy award that I never thought I'd be virtuous enough to get. I can't tell you what an honor and just a complete trip it is to be here 22 years later. It gives me a heart attack to think it's been 22 years, but it's so wonderful to be here. The school is, all the good parts are here, but it's actually gotten better, which is really fun to see. Not strong. So, I still live in Berkeley with my husband and my 18-month-old son and my mom and 2 dogs. And you heard what I do for a living, which is sort of like this nonsense of words, but I'm a fintech founder. And I think you can probably imagine that I didn't grow up thinking I would be a fintech founder. When I was a little girl, and at various times at EB, I thought I'd be a ballerina, a marine biologist, and a mail carrier. And at graduation speeches like these, it's easy to look back and create a narrative around the steps that I took really thoughtfully and carefully to get me to the life I have now, and maybe impart some wisdom about how you could achieve these great things too. But the truth is, I've always been a little bit cursed with an inability to just kind of stick it out along a path. I saw my peers on the grind in their pre-med courses, getting themselves to the gym before work, something I've really never been able to do. And I always felt like I missed that gene as early as high school. I've never been good at muscling through stuff I hated. And so this sometimes meant not getting through the readings in classes in high school. I'm looking at you, Beowulf. It meant procrastinating like crazy at the college library, trying to scramble together a 10-page paper starting at 4 a.m. the night before. Not a good idea. But I've discovered there's sort of this other side to this curse. What I saw as a lack of discipline also meant doing what I want, when I want, saying yes to lots of things, inadvisable or not, because I like to try it all. I'm probably scaring some of the parents out here. Sometimes that's eating too much food or overpacking my weekend with plans to see friends. But on a larger scale, it's manifested itself in quitting jobs I hated and moving to another country, or deciding that one minute I wanted to be a chef and the next a programmer. So now in this graduation talk where I'm supposed to weave it all together into a nice story about how I got from point A to point B and how you could too, I guess what I'm trying to say is I didn't. At some point in my 20s, I stopped doing things I didn't like and did things I did like instead without a plan. And as a result, I've done some things that at a minimum made my life more full and colorful, and in many ways fundamentally changed my life. I spent time in West Africa, in large things to EB because I wanted to go to a French-speaking country. It eventually led me to meet my now husband. I broke up with my long-term boyfriend and on a whim joined a startup in Kenya, which led me to realize how much I wanted to work on fintech infrastructure, every little girl's dream, and leading me years later to start my company. Along the way, I've eaten the spiciest chicken of my life in Hong Kong, quit a job I hated, even though it was a good one on a resume, went spelunking hundreds of feet down in a cave with people I had just met, worked on both successful and very failed political campaigns, picked up a hitchhiker in Tunisia, and many other stupid, fun, embarrassing, and unforgettable things, both big and small. So my point, if I can finally get to it, is that many of these things led me in a very meandering but very significant way to the life I have now, even though no fortune teller could have ever looked at the facts and said I'd be here. And I'm standing in front of a bunch of experienced, worldly, sophisticated people, and I think the evidence alone that you can understand French grammar is all you need to know, who already do or will feel drive and pressure to succeed along some sort of plan, whether it's yours or someone else's. And that plan may serve you well, so don't let me stop you. But what I ask of you is that you don't let it drown out that little voice in your head. And yes, it might be the same voice that's saying don't to eat the third or fourth cookie, telling you what you want. Yes, it's riskier, and yes, you will make decisions that others don't approve of, including your parents. But I can tell you that it carries so much more upside. Congratulations to the class of 2022. Félicitations.